Since the 18th century, with the effects of the Industrial Revolution, women and children were forced to work in factories, and many children and sick people were neglected on the streets. Bishop Kettler and Mother Marie founded the Institute of the School and Nursing Sisters of Divine Providence in Germany in 1851 in order to take care of such social issues. The work of taking care of those suffering from social evils and the marginalized has expanded throughout the world for more than 100 years. And in 1966, it took roots in Korea. The Sisters of Divine Providence are those lured by Providence. In the spirit of Jesus Christ, the sisters share the joys and sufferings of those on the periphery and live their daily life in response to the needs of the times, in collaboration with people of goodwill. This is how those lured by the provident God live. As the Gospel says, the kingdom of heaven belongs to children. I see the reign of God in the bright smile and innocent words of children. I help them with the hope that they are able to bloom as they are and develop their dream happily in God's love. Whenever I meet the kids who come closer to me without any pretense, they seem to be God's face to me. I can get boundless energy and strength here. A hospital is a place where those with physical or mental illness come. So I want to give the healing love of Jesus and hope for resurrection to the people I minister to at the hospital. It corresponds to the spirituality of the Catholic Medical Center that by embodying Jesus Christ, healer in ourselves, we try to take care of people suffering from diseases. Through prayer and service, I try to care for the patient's physical and spiritual needs and to respond to them with love. I have been able to do this due to my radical trust in and attraction to God, who is constantly calling me. I have done lots of ministries, and now I am learning how to age with the grandmothers here at Charity House. Though they had spent different stages of life without different meanings and values in their lives, they seem to be one at present. They pray a lot, pondering, how can I realize God's love more deeply? Just as the rising sun is beautiful, so is the setting sun in the evening. Likewise, I try to make my life with the grandmothers a beautiful sunset. A verse of the poem Back to Heaven by Chun Sang-byung comes up into my mind. I'll go back to heaven again after playing on the slopes with the dusk. When the clouds beckon, I'll go back to heaven again. On the last day of my outing to this beautiful world, I'll go back and say it was beautiful. I want to get older with the hope that the younger sisters can say, it would be good to see the sister getting older, lured by God as a person of God. Working at a parish, I share the parishioners' experience of sudden deaths, sufferings, and many difficult situations. I am sometimes confronted with my personal limitations, but when I acknowledge my limitation and surrender myself with trust in God's providence, I feel unexpected comfort and strength and get a gift of courage and hope. Then I am reborn as a person lured by God. This experience is really appealing and gives me courage and strength to recover. There is a gospel story about a rich young man. If you wish to be perfect, then come, follow me. For me, to be perfect is to be a disciple who follows God, to practice the preferential option for the poor, which is the spirit of our founders. Then to help and be with those who worry about daily meals, the sick, and those without any birth certificate. My life in the Dominican Republic is happy as a missionary lured by God. We are involved in the mission of Jesus through our ministries. As in Article 38 of the Constitutions, we look to community for the support and inspiration that enables us to give more fully of ourselves in the exercise of our ministries. The members of the Mother House respond to their call by doing their duties. With special interest in other sisters committed to outside works and people in the world, we invite them to life in God's providence through our communal prayer. As a director of the Mother House, I try to experience God's presence in daily life and to surrender myself to His guidance, and willingly collaborate with God who is working in me. This is the lure of God, which enables me to live holy as a sister of divine providence. This year, Saint Joseph Province of the Sisters Divine Providence has reached the age of 50 when the will of God is fully understood. To understand the will of God is to internalize providence. As we celebrate the jubilee of the 50th anniversary of our presence in Korea, each of us appreciates God's faithful love and care, and tries to actualize providence with commitment to the needs of the times by reconsidering and deepening our lives in the spirit of the foundation. With faith and passion, in union with the mission of Christ, we try to enter into the joys and sufferings of God's people with compassion. In collaboration with our neighbors who make every effort to foster God's reign on earth, we commit ourselves to making God's providence more visible in our world. We, lured by God, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and continue to make God's providence more visible on earth. We thank the God of Providence. Sisters of Divine Providence,